Hello everyone, I make a killer focaccia and I like to share it with you. You see my bread on the air bubbles. My husband want to eat the whole pan. Do you want some? Welcome to SaigoncookTravel. I am Saigoncook. On this channel, I share with you everything I know, so please like, share my video and subscribe. It means a lot to me, thank you. So I have my active starter. Can you see it's bubbling and alive? So I got 100 grams, and to that 10 grams of olive oil and 500 grams of warm water. This is the only time that I use warm water during on my sourdough making, because I want the yeast has the good environment to bloom. So I mix it first and then I adding now 560 grams of bread flour, that's King Arthur that I'm using, and the contents of protein is 12.7%. I don't use any fancy specific flour, just King Arthur. And you can see 560 grams. Now I will mix it thoroughly so that don't have any flour left. Just that you don't need to knead too much, because focaccia is very forgiving. You don't need kneading. This is no knead method. I use my chopsticks so that my hands not dirty. You can see it's almost there. So I use spatula to scrape down on the flour on the wall so that they mixing. You go around to make sure the powder mixing, and this they do it very simple. And I cover and let it rest for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I come back and do the first stretch and fold. I wet my hand and grab the dough, stretch it out, and I go along until I finish at the end. You can see my dough is very wet, so at this point it's still vulnerable, so I don't stretch too much. You need to look at your dough and decide how far you can stretch. With my dough, it's a little thin now, so I stretch a little bit, just like so. I think I did enough, and I will cover and let it rest for 30 minutes. And then now I do the first coil fold. The reason I changed to coil fold instead of stretch and fold, because my dough very wet. And when your dough is wet, the method is coil form. You can see I lift up and it's not cooperate at the first try, but I keep going, and then finally I can lift it up and fold it in. Now I let it rest 30 minutes and I come back do the second coil fold. At this point, the dough a little better behave. You can see it's easy for me to lift up and fold. And after this, I will cover and let it rest for 30 minutes and come back do the final third coil fold. Okay, the tie is up. Now I do the final coil fold. You see the dough is still very wet. So that is the reason it makes the focaccia is very good, because it's a lot of water inside, very high hydration. So after this, I will cover and let my dough go into the fridge overnight. So after it's rested in the fridge overnight, now this is the next day. So today we will bake it. You can see the bubble on top. It does its job in the fridge. Now I use 2 tablespoons of olive oil and I spread on the bottom of the pan because I got my dough onto it. With this recipe, you can make 2 pans like this. So I divided into half. I should oil my scraper, but I didn't, so it stick a little bit. Now I was successful to divide the dough, and this is the one go into this pan to bake today. The rest I left it in the fridge again for tomorrow. Now I flip my dough and try to tuck in, and I will cover and let it rest to about to rise up in about 2 hours. In the meantime, I make kind of like pesto, but it's not. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of no salt seasoning, and 1 teaspoon parsley. Now the 2 hours are up, so my dough was risen. Can you see now it filled the pan? When I put in it just on the bottom, but now it's full it to the top, to the rim. Now I sprinkle my mixture onto the surface of the bread. I oil my hands, but it's not enough oil, but I Dimple and Jiggle anyway. At this point, I think I use oil a lot, so I try not to use more oil than I needed. I also dip my red onion into the oil and scatter on top. And now it's ready to bake. So I bake it at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and for 20 minutes after that I brought the pan up the higher rack for 5 minutes more, and voila. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it. Bye bye.